Yeah, I show the portfolio all the time. The upper right is the account value. Or you got to spend more time, looking for new stocks instead of looking at the account value. Spend all this time staring at your P&L. You should be staring at some income statements. Go find the next good stock. Reminds me of the old chess adage. You find a good move, find a better one. A lot of people play the first good move they find. Sava, Galt, and Sava was around 800K. Galt was around 300K, and Quantum was around 1 million. Those are the three big trades there to go from 100K to 2.4. But that level of risk was unreasonable. I mean, that was an insane level of risk. That's, not something anybody should do, but, we called it a YOLO portfolio, and then I asked you guys, do you want to see more YOLO or something a little bit more realistic that you could copy? Because when you do the YOLO, what ends up happening is it's like driving a truck with no brakes or driving a car with no brakes. I mean, you're going to crash. It's just a matter of how... are you going to crash with a lot or are you going to crash with a little? But you're going to crash because you're going in an insane speed. Now, Sava that's how the account went from 100K to 800K in that account. I mean, yeah, I think, again, the question is, do you want to go ham? Or do you want to, do something reasonable and scalable? That's the question. Going ham is entertaining, but it's not really. What are you going to do, lever up and go all in every time you come up with a stock investment? I mean, that's crazy. Can't do that. I know some of you want to do that because you feel like it's the only way you can get rich, but it's not the case. That's why I like this thing. It's relatable. A lot of people have $30,000 throw in, and I'm going to do it in a relatively slow manner that you can copy and not say, okay, I'm not going to copy that because that's a fucking crazy thing to do. I'm not going to put every dollar I have shorting cassava. Because, yeah, it might work, but eventually one of these isn't going to work, and I'm going to get fucking destroyed. And that's right. That's completely right. So you try to find a process that you can actually do and repeat. And that's what I want you guys to copy, not the exact trades, of course. You're welcome to do that. But copying the actual process of, everything I'm doing here is pretty cut and dry. I'm looking at companies and listening to conference calls and reading the news on the companies and trying to estimate their potential success. And it's no different from what Buffett does. It's no different from what any hedge fund does. You have to get judgment over time to figure out, what might look good or what might not look good. Yeah, totally, Joe, totally. Some still. Some still. I have the worst allergies today. But you got to learn it for yourself too. I mean, to me, I didn't really fully absorb or even absorb any risk understandings for maybe 10 years, which really was not good for me. cause a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of frustration. And, you know, you just have to be really good at controlling that risk. Best way to do this is yeah, if that sounds familiar to you, you know, go on the long compounding road. You know, don't try to take a shortcut. You try to take a shortcut, just like in real life, you know, you'll get pulled over or you get into an accident. You know, the guy driving slow and steady is going to win. Doesn't mean you can't, you know, hit the gas every now and then. The galaxy gas, I mean. But, you know, don't. Yeah, you're just hurting yourself mostly, but we all want the maximal return, but and we think we're ready to take the risk that gets us that return, but it's the risks you can't predict that really nab you. And in investing, you don't get to say, oh, oops, I messed up, let me take the trade back. Best thing you could do is go into your girl's purse. That trick doesn't work that much either. That's when you got to change the trick. That's when the house gets robbed. That's when you get the insurance policy and a fire starts. But all your valuables happen to not be in there. But you claim them anyway. That's the only do-overs you're going to get. You're not really going to be able to say, oh, I put too much on Rigetti. I didn't know it could go up that much. Oh well. Tell your story to somebody else. Nobody gives a fuck. But it was such a good idea anyway. I could have made. Okay, great. Doesn't matter. Only one thing matters. Did you survive? Did you thrive? That's when you make the fake tweet. That's when you get your boy, white boy, James. He good with the computer. He good with it. Get him to hack the president. Somebody like that, hack a CEO. You sent out the fake tweet. You had all the puts. You tell him, tweet, I'm gonna resign, the whole company a fraud. Just like that. Tweet that. CEO IBM says, I'm gonna resign, whole company a fraud. Stock goes down 10%. I sell my puts, I make 50,000x. Just like that. White boy James, I crack him off 10%. Then I rob him in case I get in trouble again. That's why I got the 10% waiting, just in case. See, I'm on another level with this shit. Y'all out here working jobs and shit. Come on, man. I ain't doing that. You ain't working no fucking job, bro. I tried that shit once. On this account, I'm not trying to do any drawdown until I've got a serious gains. I look at drawdowns as just investment leverage. So like, I'm willing to go, you know, within reason. I'm basically not willing to tolerate any drawdown right now. And in terms of once I'm up, say 5%, I'm probably willing to tolerate a 50% draw, 50% of those gains. So a 2.5% drawdown. Then after say 10%, it probably most I can tolerate is say 4 or 5% drawdown permanently. But it depends, you know. It depends, you know. I always play it by ear. You know, there may have to be a bigger drawdown to get those kinds of gains, especially if I find a really solid binary event trade. Yeah, Michael, we're doing something like that with Godel. That's kind of what one of the visions for Godel is. There's no real great way to prevent a drawdown other than stop loss. Yeah, that's right. CL is right. Another monster year. I'd say 60% win rate's pretty good. In which case, you know, you can build good position sizes, you can take a little risk. You know, we all want to take risk, but you have to really make it worth it. Yeah. All that, Marek. Have you tried the earnings multiple function? I'm pretty proud of that. Pretty happy about that.